In the year 2077, the world changed forever. The virtual game apocalypse transcended its digital boundaries and became reality itself. The thin line between the virtual and the real collapsed, plunging the world into chaos. Nations crumbled, cities fell, and order was reduced to dust. Yet, in the midst of destruction, humanity began to awaken supernatural abilities, fighting back against the apocalypse that threatened to consume all. Among them was Ye Xiao. In that life, he devoted everything he had to Qin Yanran, the woman he loved beyond reason. He poured billions of his wealth into her growth, raising her level and gifting her divine artifacts until she became one of the strongest god-tier powerhouses in the Dragon Country. At last, he thought his loyalty and sacrifices had been rewarded when he stood by her side as her husband. But on their wedding day, his world shattered. Qin Yanran betrayed him in the cruelest way imaginable. She ripped the very heart from his chest and sneered that money could never buy her love. Her true affections, she declared, were for Zhou Hong. She would even offer Ye Xiao's heart to him as proof of her devotion. As Ye Xiao's vision blurred and his body collapsed, despair swallowed him whole. Memories of every sacrifice replayed in his mind. The years he had bent his knee, the fortune he had squandered, all for her smile. In his final moment, rage ignited in his soul. He roared that he would not die, not until he had taken his revenge. And then he opened his eyes. Ye Xiao found himself alive, his surroundings unfamiliar, yet hauntingly known. For a moment, he thought it a dream. But then realization struck him like thunder. He had returned, regressed to a week before the apocalypse began. At that very moment, he was once again begging Qin Yanran to accept 200,000 yuan as her allowance, just as he had in his past life. But this time, he stopped. Instead of handing her the money, he reclaimed it, told her to remove the shoes he had bought for her, and declared that their ties were severed. Qin Yanran stared at him in shock, convinced it was one of his tricks. She scoffed that since he had already come, she would simply accept the money as usual. But Ye Xiao's gaze was cold. He told her to get lost, never to contact him again. Her face twisted with fury. She spat that his paltry wealth could never bend her will and swore that if he ever crawled back to beg forgiveness, she would never grant it. Ye Xiao only smirked. He said it was a blessing never to see her again. His path now lay elsewhere. Without another glance, he walked away, his heart hardened with resolve. He knew what was coming. This time, he would not waste his fortune on unworthy love. He would prepare. He would survive. And he would rise. Determined, he resolved to liquidate all his company shares, assets that would soon be worthless when the world collapsed. He contacted Ye Lin, a woman eager to buy them, and commanded her to prepare 20 billion yuan by the following day. After the call, he allowed himself a smile. The future belonged to him now. A week later, the beta version of Apocalypse launched. Across the world, players logged in with excitement, blind to the doom that loomed over them. Ye Xiao entered the game under the name Night Xiao. For his class, he chose Beast Tamer, knowing well that one such tamer had once raised an entire city with a dark abyss dragon under his command. Then he made his move. Without hesitation, he exchanged all 20 billion yuan into in-game currency. 20 billion gold coins shimmered in his account, setting a world record. He felt no regret. He knew their value would multiply tenfold in only 3 days. But his action did more than that. It unlocked a hidden profession, the path of wealth. Before him appeared a crimson toad, its eyes gleaming with divine power. Ye Xiao's breath caught as the creature spoke. The toad introduced itself as Ebisu, the god of wealth. With a voice like rolling thunder, it declared that Ye Xiao had been chosen as his 709th successor. From that moment on, Ye Xiao's new journey began.